The truth is, earthquakes, they don't discriminate. Living abroad does come with so much freedom, but with that freedom comes responsibility. And if this situation has taught me anything, is that, okay guys, you already know when I'm out on this balcony, it's about to get serious. It's going down. Sorry if it's too distracting, the noise, but it's such a beautiful afternoon, evening-ish. It's 5:30 and the breeze is flowing just right. I got my cookies on the way and I just ate dinner, and I feel like addressing more of these comments. My last video published today and I have received more questions in the comments and also my email, so let me get to it. Y'all know I'm a vlogger, okay? I don't do these sit down videos often, but when I do, you should listen. Anywho, so addressing the earthquake and the aftermath of the earthquake. If you've been following along, my last video, the video right before this one, I talked about my personal experience with the earthquake that took place here in Bangkok. Talked about where I was, how I felt about it, and all that jazz. But since that video aired, I'm getting even bigger questions like, are buildings in Bangkok safe? Should we be worried about the aftershock? I hope it's not too windy, I'm so sorry. Should we be worried about the aftershock? And why are some people leaving the city? So today, I want to focus on just that, because if you are thinking about moving to Bangkok or Thailand, here's another view, another perspective from me. Thank you again, by the way, for those who commented and reached out to me asking if I was okay. But beyond my experiences, let's break it down from my point of view, what actually is happening here and what you need to know if you decide to live here or just thinking about moving, and what it all means long term. So first topic is the condo buildings and the structural safety of the condos. That was one of the main questions that I received, wondering if the high rises are actually built to handle something like this. So let's kind of talk about the newer buildings versus the older buildings and how they are handling or have handled the earthquake. Not all buildings are created equal. The newer ones, most are designed to kind of sway on purpose, so we've been told, which kind of sounds wild, right? But it actually helps to absorb the shock instead of cracking under pressure. That's why when people were in the high rises, they felt that slow rolling motion instead of an actual jolt, sudden jolt. Now, if you've seen the videos on the internets where you see the pool rooftop water falling, apparently it's not just for aesthetics. The water movement actually helps redistribute some of the energy and stability of the building. But here's the thing, just because a building is new doesn't mean it was built well. Some of these newer constructions, i.e. the one over yonder, let's just say they didn't quite understand the assignment. I'm not knocking anybody's building, I'm not knocking anybody's construction, I'm not knocking anybody, nothing. I'm just calling it like I see it. So when it comes to inspections of the building, the aftermath of the earthquake, in my opinion, my building has been on top of it, doing inspections left and right. There's definitely some minor cosmetic damage in the hallways especially, but nothing structural. I'm not an inspector. I'm not saying that I'm an expert. Lord knows I don't know nothing about nothing, but I'm doing it anyways. I tried to inspect some of the layering behind the drywall, and the cement behind it, what I inspected was intact. Again, I don't know nothing about nothing. My building also, they have been sending multiple notices since the moment it happened about confirming the integrity of the building, that it's solid. And as of today, Friday, a week after the earthquake, they've officially ruled out any structural concerns. And they've also sent out the certificates of the inspections. And some can say, yeah, these people be lying. They be lying here and there, left and right, up and down. That is true. At this point, what can you do? All you have to do is go on your best judgment and move from there. For my unit specifically, I've got a few cracks in the paint, the drywall, peeling of some sorts. But thankfully, my landlord's insurance covers that. He'll get it fixed sometime. I don't know when, but I'm not pressed on it because it's, look, they'll get to it when they get to it. But This whole ordeal also has me thinking, should I be looking into renter's insurance? In the US, I'm not sure anywhere else, renter's insurance is a thing. It's standard, okay? But when I inquired with my realtor, my landlord, and some other people, local Thai people, I'm getting that it's not a thing here for the actual renter, the tenant. And honestly, that's something that I personally need to dig in a little bit deeper, because should something like this were to occur again, or a flood or a leak from the condo unit above, a fire, anything, and I'm not so lucky as to be unscathed, I want my personal belongings covered. That's reasonable, right? But the question now is, should you or me or anyone be worried about living in high-rise condo units here in Bangkok? For me, no. I'm not losing sleep over it, but I get why some people are questioning it. The truth is, earthquakes, they don't discriminate. There were actually plenty of low rises that didn't handle it so well either. So at the end of the day, it's not just about the height, but it's about how well it was built in the first place. My landlord did say that I don't know if it's the construction building company. Is it my cookies? Oh, they arrived. I don't know if it's the construction company name of Sensory what did she say? Hold on. She said the developer of this building is Sensory, which is one of the safest ones in Thailand. That's all I have to go by. I don't know nothing about Sensory. I don't know nothing about nothing, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it anyways. That being said, if you're in Bangkok or planning to move here, it's always a good idea to know what your building's safety standards are. Ask questions, check if they've done inspections, and maybe consider renter's insurance if it's something that's worth to you. In that aspect, we in the same boat, because I need to figure that out too. I need to go get my cookies. 1 second. I actually don't know where I left off, what I was talking about, but these cookies from Honey Chew Dewy, I don't know what this called. Oh my God. The next topic, why are people leaving Bangkok? Let's get into it. Look, I get it. The earthquake shook some people, right? Literally and figuratively.
What?
Figuratively.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Figuratively. I get it. This red velvet cookie. It's warm. Makes me want to dance. Gotta keep an eye on the time, as I have a Beyond Borders mentorship session in 3 hours. By the way, I have resources in the description box. If you're looking to move abroad, holla at your girl. Let me help you. Okay, anywho, whether you're an expat, a local, or even just visiting, it's completely valid to feel uneasy after something like this happened. Some people are questioning if they even want to be in Bangkok anymore. I get it. I hear you. I see you. I understand. And I can't blame them for that. Fear is real, and it's also personal. But here's where it gets interesting. There was a 15% drop in hotel bookings for Songkran this year. Songkran, my favorite, absolute favorite Thai holiday, and honestly, one of my favorite celebrations ever. Last year, it was just amazing. I have a video on that, by the way. Also a few shorts. But now tourists are second guessing their plans. Some don't want to risk it if there's another quake that were to happen. And others are probably just feeling uneasy about being in high-rise hotels. I get it. But should people be leaving? That's the bigger question. Here's the reality. Thailand isn't suddenly more dangerous today than it was before the earthquake. I've said this in the last video. Earthquakes are rare here, specifically Bangkok. And while this one was a wake-up call, the actual risks for another major one hitting soon is low. Now, again, I'm no, meteorologist or earthquakeologist. You know what I'm trying to say, okay? Don't judge me. I don't know nothing about nothing, but the risks are low. But also, fear doesn't work on logic. And I totally understand why some people are making different choices based on that. For me and my household, though, we serve the Lord. No, I'm not packing up and leaving. If anything, I'm using this as a reminder to stay prepared, stay informed, and most importantly, still enjoy my life here. I am in Bangkok until I'm not, and right now I am. What they say, you better stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. Yeah, I know that's right. Because honestly, Bangkok, even with its occasional shake-ups, shaking the table, it's still home for me. Now let's really talk about the most important thing that we all should learn, especially as expats, from this situation, and why every expat should have an emergency plan. As I mentioned about the renter's insurance, something I honestly never really thought much about. And I don't know why, because if I were in the States, that'd be the first thing I'd do, get renter's insurance. I did upon moving into my building. I asked my landlord if I had insurance or if he had insurance, and he said yes. Now, what I did not do is clarify if insurance covered my personal belongings. So we are learning as we go. But after this quake, I realized that I need to start thinking differently. Living abroad does come with so much freedom, but with that freedom comes responsibility. And if this situation has taught me anything, is that having an emergency plan is non-negotiable. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not knocking anyone who needs help after a crisis, okay? That's not what I'm doing here. Life happens, and sometimes we just aren't prepared for the unexpected. But I do think it's important to plan ahead as much as possible. If something happens, whether it's a natural disaster, whether it's a medical emergency, or even an unexpected job loss, having that safety net can make a world of difference, right? But the reality is, you don't want to be in the situation to where your only option is a GoFundMe. That's it. That's all I got to say about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So with that, let's ask the question, what should every expat consider when they're moving abroad? Emergency contacts. Have a list of people you can call, both locally and back home. And if something were to happen, you don't want to be scrambling around trying to figure out who to get in touch with. Travel and medical insurance. If you get hurt, do you have a plan? While medical care in Thailand is great, it ain't free. Whereas in the States, you get into a car accident, they rush you to the hospital, you don't have insurance, they're still gonna work on you. Here, you got to pay up front or have a local insurance. One of the resources that I do have, a quick plug, is my comprehensive Move to Bangkok guide. I have all the resources, all the things that you need for your move abroad. Insurances, list them all, links them all of the options that you need to move to Thailand successfully. So if you want that, if you need that extra support, the link is in the description box below. Now, when it comes to alternative housing, if your condo becomes available, if you become displaced, like a lot of people were after the earthquake, where are you going? Do you get a backup plan? Do you get money for a hotel for a week or two? Can you stay with a friend? Is there some sort of short-term rental fund that you have? Or even just as little as the knowledge of what hotels and Airbnbs are available in your area. Now, when I say Airbnbs, please keep in mind that while there are Airbnbs here, it is illegal for landlords to rent out their Airbnbs for daily use and for weekly use. Monthly use, I believe there's a gray area, but it is illegal. So if you are renting an Airbnb for a day or two or a week, you are technically participating in illegal activity. All right, you've been warned. Okay, so all in all, the goal here isn't to live in fear. It's about being smart and being prepared, because the reality is anything can happen and anything can happen anywhere. It's not about being paranoid. Like I said, as for this household, we serve the Lord. But it's also about being proactive. And for me, this experience was just a reminder that even though I feel at home here in Bangkok, I still need to have a plan. So if you are an expat, whether you're in Thailand or anywhere else, take the moment now and check in with yourself. Ooh, that's loud, huh? Take the moment now to check in with yourself. If something were to happen unexpectedly tomorrow, unfortunately, will you be ready? If not, then now's the time to start thinking about it. All right. Well, the final question here is Bangkok still safe? I love this city. This breeze feels so good tonight, y'all. The short answer, yes. I'm still here and I feel safe. But I'm a weird sort, okay? I lived in a van for 2 years, solo. Don't take it from me. I mean, I'm gonna go after it regardless. But the earthquake was a wake-up call, right? But it's not a reason to panic. Thailand, like many other places, experiences tremors from time to time. And for the most part, buildings, especially the newer ones, are designed to handle them. So we've been told. While some people are nervous, I personally, I don't feel like there is a reason for me to pack up and leave. That said, staying informed is key. That's the whole point of this video. Staying informed, make sure you're aware of your safety procedures, have a plan, and take reasonable precautions. But living in fear, that's not the move. That ain't it, sis. Bangkok is still Bangkok, vibrant, exciting, and full of life, if you can't hear it in the background. I ain't going nowhere. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was informative for you. If it was, let me know in the comment section below. All right, I think from here on out, I'm going back to my regularly scheduled vlogs. Also have a quick trip planned for my birthday. I'm super excited, so stay tuned for that. All right, see you next time. Hey, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to join me every week. And remember, you can also join me on any upcoming international experience around the world. Just click on the link in the description box below, and I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching.